Well, hello, everyone. It's Thursday night, and we are thrilled to have you here joining us on this live. I have the pleasure of bringing out and introducing Dr. Michael Gross. So I'm going to go ahead and give him a couple minutes to just say hello, and then I'm going to go ahead and formally introduce him, okay? Here you go, Michael.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm really excited about our message that I wish to deliver to you tonight. So, thank you for joining us. The subject, of
Perfect.
course, are you running away from your life? And it's really very something important I want to share with all of you. So, thank
Okay.
you.
Like Michael said, the topic is Are you running away from your life? Which means I'm going to just do a really quick introduction and then we can go into his presentation tonight, okay? I have Dr. Michael Gross is a professional keynote speaker, energy transformational coach. He's an entrepreneur, the author of the Spiritual Primer, applying God's 12 transformational laws to reawaken your soul by reconnecting to God, the true source, to experience your true source's love, joy, and happiness. For over 30 years, Michael has been a spiritual teacher and a multidimensional healer and an energy transformational coach. He also works with individuals while retrieving fragmented parts of their souls. And in addition, Dr. Michael Gross is also a past life regressionist. As an intuitive, he helps you understand the future as well as experiences that have occurred in your past that are currently affecting you in your day to day. Dr. Michael Gross also offers workshops, including Reconnecting to God, the True Source, Cellular Release, Manifestation Protocols, Energy Multidimensional Healing, Enlightenment, and many others. His vast store of knowledge includes positive affirmations, and spiritual techniques that powerfully affect your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, family, vocation, and life path to achieve your unlimited life. He has a repertoire of experience. He studied for 40 years, right, Michael? Over 40 years. And I could go on and on and on about his skills. But what I'd like to do right now is also let you know that he is the founder of a very, very, very important nonprofit, which perhaps you can share a little bit about that also, Michael. Okay. But we only chat for until 7:30 roughly our time, Pacific Daylight Time. So I'd like to give Michael the floor. And if you have questions, I encourage you to type them in the comments, and I will make sure that Michael sees them so he can answer your questions. Okay.
Thank you very much. Just to mention, the International Institute of Self Empowerment. That's a 501c3 nonprofit, and I'm really excited about it. Some We're changing our website. Lots of exciting news I'll share with all of you later, at a later date, probably in a couple of weeks. But just wanted to mention that. And if you're looking for some tax deductions, please contact me because the IRS will give you that tax deduction. All right. Well, thank you. TU is going to be busy putting information on the chat screen, so thank you to you. So our subject today is Are you running away from your life? And in my conversations with the True Source, I was looking around with all my clients and seeing what's going on and what's happy, what's not happy, what's good. And it seems to be a lot of souls are now uh, using what they call gummy bears, which is CBD or whatever that's called. I'm not sure of that. And they're also using a lot of alcohol and they're partying and running away from life. Now, I'm not criticizing you if you're doing marijuana or any of those things, especially for medical reasons. But I'd like you to be all aware of that more and more souls are getting lost. They don't know what direction to go into, and they're angry and they're upset. And this is a beautiful year, 2024, because this is the year of karma. And remember, as I talked before, karma is just nothing but an experience. If you want to make a big deal out of it, go ahead. But if you want to use it as a learning lessons, that's what I would do with it. I'd use it as something I choose to learn and grow from. Would all of you like to take a look around your life and seeing what's going on? A lot of families are argumentative, broken up, breaking up. They're not facing their issues or they're quick tempered. Children are lost. They're saying things that are very disrespectful. They're not really looking at life, and they're really running away from life. And there's no such thing as critical thinking among a great deal of the young children today, and even amongst the adults. Is it 100%? No. The reason I'm bringing up all these things is that this is something we have to begin to look in our lives. And looking at our lives, it's very important for us to understand that there are things we need to heal in faith and face. And the reason I say that is because a great major shift is coming during this year, and it's beginning to really become very powerful and being strong towards the end of the year. And if you want to be part of that shift of love and joy and happiness, then there are a lot of opportunities in this lifetime to heal, to let go and look at what's going on in your life. As I have mentioned before, when something comes up in your life, you need to examine and look at it. Running away will get you nowhere. In fact, this is the way the universe works. If you run away and you hide, and then you feel better, and then it comes back again a little bit stronger. And then you run away and hide, and it comes back a third, fourth, fifth times, or whatever number. And then finally, you can't run, you can't hide, you have to face it. But why go through all the emotional, physical, mental, and spiritual pain when you can turn around and say, what am I to learn from this? But more importantly, how can I make my life more joyous and happy? You look around, there's so much division on this planet. And all of you that are watching this, there's a reason why. Because you are being asked by your soul to listen to the message that the true source has for you. And the message is simple. It is, what direction in life are you taking, and what brings you joy and happiness? Now, when I talk about joy and happiness, I'm talking about inner joy and happiness. What makes your heart sing? What makes you feel loved and cared for and expressing love, not materiality. Most people, it's all materiality and materiality, materiality, materiality. And then there's the other part of the groups that I look at that want to be vindicated, and they want to be treated royalty and appreciated, and on and on and on and on. Well, I will tell you, while you will receive some accolades and appreciation, the appreciation really has to come within. And how does it come within? Well, first of all, appreciate for the gift of life you have. The second thing you'd like to look at is appreciation for whatever you have, your family, your friends, your home, even your vocation, or if you're retired, what your life is like. So many souls that I talk to are focusing on not having, not having, not having, not having. And by the law of the universe, what you think you create, what you create, you experience. So if you're looking at your shortcomings and what you don't have, congratulations, you're manifesting it in your life. And you're going, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are, because you keep bringing it up over and over and over and over. So our greatest challenge is doubt. That's so interesting when you think about doubt. Doubt is a lack of faith, belief, and acceptance. And perhaps you never looked at it that way. But this theme you will be hearing me speak over and over again in this year. So if you stop to look at your life or think about your life, look at everything that you have created. There are no victims in life. There are only victims if you desire to attract victimhood. And really, what is victimhood? It's that your life isn't justifiable, things are not going well, people don't like you, your job, whatever you want to think of. But when you get these messages that you're uncomfortable, again, know that you have the opportunity to change. And then someone would say, well, I got 4 children, 3 children, I can't change my job, I have to do this, I hate my job. Let's look at that thought for a moment. You chose to have this form of work and have this job. You chose it. So you have 2 choices. You can either find another vocation, another job to bring you joy and happiness, or, as they say, turn lemons into honey and look at it and see what is good about it. Well, what's good about it is gives you 3 square meals, roof over your head, helps support your family, helps you to buy the toys you so desire, take a vacation, healthcare, retirement, helps you with all those things. So look at that and say, well, There's some positive, of course they are. And perhaps you're working with somebody that's really aggressive, angry, or a supervisor or manager. And there's one thing that you need to understand is have compassion for them. And having compassion, realize they're under a lot of stress, or maybe there's something personal going around. But all you can do is you can be the observer, but not be the participator. And really, what does that mean? Well, when your button is pushed or you're unhappy, you participate in what? The anger, the fear, the unhappiness, the insecurity, lack of self worth, self love, and self esteem, perhaps victimhood. You look at all that. But then focus on the little things that bring you joy and happiness. Like, again, your home, your family, maybe having the opportunity to go out to dinner, whether it be McDonald's, Burger King, or a fancy restaurant, whatever it is. And stop focusing on what you don't have, but focusing on what you have. Because if you're focusing on what you have, think about this. When you're focusing on that, what are you telling the universe? I love what I have. Universe goes, oh, well, we'll give you more of that. Doesn't mean it's going to give you more McDonald's or Burger Kings or inexpensive places. It's going to bring more things that bring you happiness. And your soul know what brings you happiness. It's your ego, analytical, logical mind that creates all these walls, all these obstacles, and stops you from being the true soul you are. True source doesn't want you to suffer, be hungry or lonely or sick or ill. Doesn't want that. It's inconceivable. True source is love. So look at your life and think about what's not loving in your life. And it's really important for you to look at that. I know Tia wants to say something, so go ahead.
I do. I'd like to share some of the comments that are coming in, okay? If that's all right.
Sure.
You have some beautiful comments coming in from someone named Alice who just shared, every day we go back, I go to work. I try to appreciate that I have a job since I'm reading your book. Thanks for sharing your wisdom. Cindy shares, focus on what you do have, and that's exactly what you said. You know, there are these beautiful people that are grateful for waking up every day. And it's because you're helping us all take on a more positive outlook and not dwell on the negatives. And I just wanted to thank you for waking us all up and creating. Cindy also shares, create I am statements and recite with a date and affirm what you want. So can you address maybe something like that as well?
Certainly. Oh, and thank you, Cindy, and thank you, Alice. I appreciate it, and everyone else, and to you. Most importantly, think about who you are and what you are. So, in thinking about what you are and who you are an aspect of the true source, meaning that your DNA in our vernacular, of course, it doesn't exist on the spiritual plane, but you have the DNA and energy of the true source. Why? Because it's your soul. Okay. And also, what we need to understand, remember, and the Old Testament said we're made in the image of God, and then the New Testament, Jesus said that the kingdom of heaven is within. So realizing of that is that you have the free will and free choice to create anything you so desire. And when we look at the two most important, powerful words, actually, there are actually three. Words are sounds that have a frequency and vibration. The universal sound, and there is a sound in the universe, is called Om. Now, you may think about the Hindus or some other group, but really, when you meditate, you will hear that. And even Mother Earth has a sound and a vibration. You have a sound and vibration. Animal, mineral, and vegetable kingdom has a sound and vibration. Even rain has a vibration because you can hear it pitter and pattering and so on, or the wind. But when you use the word I am, you're saying I'm one with the true source, and true source is one with you. Why? Because you are the daughter, son, child, whatever you want to use, you have the DNA and part of the true source. Every word has a frequency and energy and vibration. So if you say, I am happy, I am joyous, and so on and so forth, you're saying in combination with the true source that you are bringing about and asking for joy, for happiness, healing, health, even prosperity you can ask for. But be careful of prosperity. Everyone is listening to this. You should be as prosperous and financially abundant as you so desire. but not in a way that it controls and manipulates you. Money, what's it? Just a vehicle for a return of energy. Think about that. You work in a store, you give me your energy. You get back some more energy. It's called, a salary or an income or a payroll or a check or whatever it's called. But more importantly is that when you are working within the framework of the true source of unconditional love and doing everything to the point of unconditional love, then everything will be given to you and supplied to you. So you are that soul who is in control of every aspect of your life. Now, there are some souls that come and incarnate, become multimillionaires. Some become poor, some are in between, or whatever. It's because you chose those experiences. And after you chose those experiences, you can change or manifest anything you so desire. But just remember, with every manifestation, everything you create, there's a payoff. And, that's called right action and correct exchange. Therefore, if you're giving out love and joy and happiness, what's the payoff? What's the right, correct exchange? You get more love and joy and happiness. You share your prosperity, share your health, share your life, share whatever you do, then the universe says it has to come back to you. I remember when I first moved out here and I had some friends staying at my house and I didn't know where I was going to live, what I was going to rent. And a friend of mine moved out there and said, "Hey, why don't you stay with us?" Wow. I let all these people stay at my house, right action, correct exchange. They said, "Stay at our house." And I was there for about 8 or 9 months or a year. So it worked out really beautifully. So what comes around goes around. That's the important part. And what you need to understand is to appreciate everything that is in your life, even the chaos. Because how do we learn? Well, we learn by experience. Sometimes it's painful, sometimes it's joyous. We learn by listening or reading, or we learn by creating our own personal chaos. Well, if I did that one, I'm not going to do that one again. And for me, I've experienced all those. All right. So what is wisdom? Wisdom is experience. Experience is something that has touched your heart and your soul that says this works or doesn't work or I'm comfortable or uncomfortable with. And that's so important for us to realize that. But our main focus in this coming year, no matter what you're doing, is on looking at what your blocks are. What are you creating in your life? What are you running away from? And we all run away from time to time. Maybe there's someone that calls you, I don't want to talk to that person. I don't want to talk to them. So you're running away from them. Maybe they're in pain or they're kind of heavy, as we say, or anxiety ridden, or maybe they're needing help and you just don't have the time. And we do run away, but I would say eventually you have to get around to talking to them. And listen, that's the key. Be a good listener. Everybody's an expert on everything. Everybody's an expert. Well, not all of us are experts. Sometimes all we need to do is speak and just get it off our chest. And the feminine aspect of our community and of our planet, women are great and just talking to get it off their chests. We men, we kind of hold things in and we chew on them and we don't say very much. We think it's a sign of weakness. But in truth, what's beautiful is when you talk something out. Many times when I'm working with people, I let them talk. Sometimes they figure out their own answer. And there's a lot of wisdom in that. But it's important to be a good listener, not to tell them what to do. And just listen. And they ask, well, what should I do about this? And then your next question should be, what would you like to do? And at that point, you may be able to offer some suggestions. But they're really looking for directions. But most souls at this point are looking to be heard. And if they can't be heard, then they're going to run around, go to parties, drinking, vacation, doing gummy bears, whatever. And what are you doing? You're escaping your reality. Sooner or later, you have to face it. And guess what? You can choose not to face it in this lifetime. But as I often say, you get the round trip ticket to come back and learn it all over again. Because that's what you created, your soul created. If I don't get it right, Let me learn what I need to learn. And if I don't, let me come back and get it right eventually. So I'm not stuck in this wheel of anxiety, fear, hate, or insecurity, or lack of self worth, self love, and self esteem. There's so much going on in this life, so much anger. We're so divided, whether it's this political party or that political party, or they want to be this or they want to be that. And you've got to be sensitive to everybody's needs. I'll tell you who you need to be sensitive to. You need to be sensitive to what your needs are first. Second of all, look at everybody around you. If they ask for help, then be helpful. They don't ask for help, be the observer. That's so important. And the last thing to really look at is some souls are doing crazy, wild things. And mentally you could say, well, it's not for me. But I guess that's the way they chose to learn their lesson. And that's the way you chose to learn your lesson and your direction in life. People are so sensitive today that if you say one thing and they'll misinterpret it, and then they get angry or upset and say, oh my gosh. And more importantly, what they're doing today is, like, I'll be bizarre here because I don't want to create any chaos. A person goes up, I don't like you because you hate chocolate. Well, I don't like you because you hate chocolate. I love chocolate. I'm just using that as a bizarre example to be neutral. But really, you can turn around and say, okay, you hate chocolate, no problem. The important thing is now to speak your piece. As I told some of you before in a meditation, John F. Kennedy came to me and he said, Michael, tell everybody to speak their truth. Now that's different. Your truth as opposed to your opinion. And that's awfully important. And you can say, well, you know what? If that's your choice in life, then I say it's your choice and it's your experience. But don't foster it upon me. And that's it. And just walk away. And they will learn one way or the other. They'll learn in this lifetime, they'll have egg on their face, or they're going to have to come back and learn it all over again. It's your choice. But more importantly, we have to be aware of our direction in life. And more importantly, what are you running away and hiding? What are you trying to create? What are you trying to create? And why are you creating it? If it's for the benefit of humankind, go for it. But if it's for the benefit of you, think about it. If it is the benefit of you and your family, that is fine. But when you become overwrought with it, overconsumed with it, and controlled and manipulated by it, then you need to look at, is this really the right thing for everybody? Is this my message? And how do I help everybody? You got to think all of that. There was a man that did that, and his name was Jesus. And Moses did it, and Buddha did it, and Krishna did it, and many others you may or may not be aware of. And all of them, their messages got misused, misconceived, and let's say trounced upon and opinionated against. Listen to your soul, and you'll know what you're going to do. And I know Tia wants to say something.
I think the more importantly than anything is exactly what you just said. Listen to your soul, because that's the truth that we all need to follow. And it's so easy to get caught up in the stress in life that we forget to listen to the soul. And by the way, Cindy Lee just told me that today is National Dark Chocolate Day. So how appropriate that you mentioned chocolate in here.
I'm going to run out and buy some chocolate. Not really. I'm going to see if I have any chocolate. Chocolate is really good. It creates positive endorphins in your body, but because it brings you joy. And that's another point I'd like to discuss with you. What are you doing to bring joy into your life? And why are we trying to make everybody happy? You really can't make anybody permanently happy. You can only make yourself happy. You can have that moments of joy and love and happiness with others. But here's the secret. If you're joyous and happy, your energy is going to influence everybody else that's around you. That's going to be really phenomenal. You look at comedians, and they go out and they make, jokes, and you laugh, you feel good, you feel happy. And I love to watch some of the comedians. They're really great and funny. But what are you doing to make yourself happy? I often talk that if you're tired and exhausted, you go to a party and everybody's happy, 5 or 10 minutes or sooner, you're happy. You're feeling good. Or if you go to work and, you know, everybody's depressed, you get in there and you get depressed. You pick up their energy. So when you feel joyous and happy inside, your spouse, your children, they're going to go, how come you're so happy? How come you're so joyous? There's a hint for all of you to look at. Why are they saying this? Why are they not recognizing that I'm always joyous and happy, or at least 99% of the time? Why not? That's a hint for you to look at yourself. I know we're running a little short on time. We'll discuss more of this. But just remember one thing, if nothing else from what I've shared with you, is that you can create anything you so desire. And then after you do, express it, feel it, believe in it, accept it, have faith in it, and let it happen. Let it happen. Not at your time, but at your soul and the true source's time. I want to thank all of you, and I appreciate all of you. So I'd like to discuss some of the things that are very dear and happy and important to me. And that is that what I call words of wisdom. That's what this show is all about. That's what this is. So I'm going to ask all of you to subscribe and push that button on YouTube and recommend tuning in, because you never know that there may be a message that may apply to you. Then every Tuesday evening, and that's Pacific time, 6:30 to 7:30 Pacific Daylight or Standard Time. It's called Soul Awakening. And that's the opportunity you have to call and ask questions, and hopefully I can answer them. And then I deliver a 10-minute message, and there are like 320 or 21, I'm not sure. And listening to those messages are only 10 minutes long. It may strike your soul, your heart, and say, yep, I'm glad I listened to it. Because we need to move forward and we can't remain stuck. And the questions you may have, even if you don't have a question, may help you or help someone else, or maybe you know these things, but you've forgotten about them. So Tio, tell them the best way to be able to tune in to Soul Awakening.
Absolutely. I put everything in the comments in Facebook, and Cindy has also shared your link. But here's the number for the call in on Tuesday nights that Michael's talking about. The number is 202 926 1059. And the access code, Michael?
125-446-pound. One more time, please.
Absolutely. 202 926 1059. And the access code, Michael?
125-446-pound. Also using those same identical telephone numbers, the second Saturday of every month from 9:55 a.m. Pacific time to 11:01 Pacific time, called the Mass Consciousness Healing. And this is a very pet program of mine. It's very important because what we do is send healing and love to everything that exists on this planet, everything. And it's so important for us to do that. It's the second Saturday, once a month. And I assure you that if you will participate in it, it will change your day and your month. And what happens the first 5 or 6 minutes, people are a little late in showing up, and I talk to them for a few moments, and then lead you through a very deep, loving, healing meditation. If you happen to be detained and you call in a little late and you hear silence, it's because we're meditating, but stay there. I'll know when the person comes on and ask the true source to help you with our mission and goal to heal and send loving to the mass consciousness. To access that information, it's the same telephone number, so please give it one more time.
Alrighty, it's 202 926 1059 and the access code.
125446 #. So please join us, everyone. And I call it the replay. As I said, there are 320 messages, and we have this podcast that we do. Now, the messages that I do on the 10-minute Soul Awakening is audio, but there's a beautiful photograph taken by the award-winning photographer Tio Knapp and a little motivational thought. So I would encourage all of you, if you're stuck in traffic or feeling depressed or down or angry, play it. And you're going to say, well, what number do I play, Michael? There's no dictionary or library to know what number I should play. And it's done intentionally. Starts at number 3 and goes to 320. Why? Because you're going to have to learn to trust your soul and say, I'll listen to number 157. I don't know what it is, but that's the number. And I can't tell you how many people go, yeah, I listened to that just when I needed to hear. So trust your soul. And that's a different telephone number. And would you share that?
Absolutely. It's 434-300-4170 and the access code, Michael?
125446 #. One more time, please.
434-300-4170 and the code, Michael?
125446 #. So I'd like all of you to join us. And I also include, for new members, a complimentary half-hour session. You can reach me on my cell phone, my private cell number. And if I can't get back to you right away, please leave me a message and text me a message. Leave me an audible message and text me and tell me what time zone you are in. So that would help me a great deal. I would like all of you to think about what I've shared today, but also think about how to make your life more joyous and happy. And one last thing, and that is our books. This is a book called Healing the Holes in Your Soul by Tio Knapp. It's all about overcoming fears, doubt, lack of self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem, and finding out who you truly are. This is a must-read. I would suggest all of you to do so.
Thank you, Michael. I highly encourage everybody to start with this book. This is the second edition of the Spiritual Primer, and it's written by Dr. Michael Gross, currently only available when you contact Michael, so make sure you have his number, and I'm sure when you contact him, he'll be honored to go ahead and put a little signature and a message inside each copy that he sends out, okay? And if it wasn't for this amazing book, first and second edition, it's phenomenal. The book that he's holding in his hand today would not even be in existence. So it's this book, this incredible man who's sitting next to me virtually. And he enriches so many lives. So truly, truly take him up on that offer of a complimentary consultation, okay? Because you're going to be so glad you did. Thank you for my book.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Please share this with others. And just remember, you are unlimited. Namaste. We love you, everyone. Have a great week.
We love you. Thank you, Michael.
See you next week. Take care.